welcome everyone. Are you ready for more rules and regulations from the book of Deuteronomy? My name is Janet. I'm working through the King James's Bible. Today are chapters 27 to 29. And as always, it's Moses standing there giving this sermon to the younger generation of the Israelites, letting them know what God is expecting of them as they are going to be broaching into the promised land. So here we go with more of the rules that are to follow. So in chapter 27, Moses explains to them what they are to do when they cross the river Jordan. You must all keep the commandments, the statutes and the laws that God has laid down here before you. They must be abided by. And once you have crossed the river, you are to set up an altar at Mount Ebal to the Lord. It must consist of natural stones where you'll bring your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, and then you'll eat them there in this place and rejoice with the Lord. In addition, you must get a large stone and you have to plaster it, and then you're going to carve out all of the laws onto this stone. And these are the laws that you are going to be abiding by. So these are a reminder of what is expected of you, so nobody will forget. And if they are thought of like, oh, what is it again? They can come to this stone and see clearly what is expected of them. Now there are to be a lot of laws obviously placed at this altar. So it's clear to them, the Israelites, what they have to do, but it's also clear that if they went against them, they are to know that they will be cursed. And here are just some of them that were covered in this chapter. If you want to know the full list, then check out the link under this video. So we have men must never sleep with animals. Never worship false gods. Honour your mother and father. Do not sleep with your father's wife. Never kill a neighbour in secret. And sleeping with a family member like your brother or your sister is an abomination to the Lord. Never kill an innocent man for money. This is classed as murder. And then it's really strongly proclaimed that they must all follow God's commandments, otherwise they are classed as a sinner. And all those punishments that God has clearly laid out over these chapters will be enforced. So these were all clearly laid down, explained, and then the people at the end of this said, Amen. So they were sort of agreeing that, Amen, yes, we listen to that. Amen, yes, we won't do that. Amen, yes, we will not do that. That is how it went, and that's how we close chapter 27. In chapter 28, we are covering the blessings and curses. So we start off with Moses saying, follow all of God's commandments. How many times does he have to say this? But yet, follow all of God's commandments and he will bless you. You will be above all nations on the earth. You will reign over all, and you'll be blessed in all that you do. Your harvests will soar and be abundant. Your children will be blessed. Your enemies will be defeated. You'll be a holy people, and you'll prosper greatly under the Lord's commandments. Now follow the laws faithfully and do not alter any of them at all. No alterations are to be made. And in doing this, you'll enjoy the Lord forever in this promised land. Then Moses details what will happen if you disobey God's laws. So be warned, Israelites, this is the wrath that will come if you choose to take an alternative path. Firstly, you'll be seen as disobedient and evil in the eyes of the Lord, so he will start treating you as such. He will curse you forever in all that you do. Your children will be cursed. Your enemies will win and defeat you. You'll get many diseases. You'll have fevers and drought, and you'll become food for the wild animals around you. You'll be driven mad and you'll go insane. You'll go blind. People will steal from you and oppress you. You'll marry, but a man will rape your wife. Your property will go to somebody else. What you will harvest will be next to nothing. You'll be harvesting and harvesting, and nothing hardly will grow. And the Lord will send a nation to break you, to break you to the point you'll resort to cannibalism, and the Lord will lead you to your own self-destructive ways. Your fears will be realized, and they will consume you, and you'll all succeed in your own destruction. And that closes this chapter of a pretty harsh treatment you will receive if you are to go against God's commandments. So let's move into our final chapter, chapter 29. This is about renewing the covenant and a warning for those who go against the covenant. We start with the Lord speaking through Moses to renew the covenant with the Israelites who are now abiding in Moab. He tells them that over the past 40 years, when the Israelites have been in the wilderness, God has cared for them as best he could. He's ensured they had food, he's ensured they had water and clothing, and they have been victorious over the battles that they have gone through. They've overcome 2 great kings and they have won. So as the Israelites stand before him now, it's like, you're here because I've made it so, You've been cared for. Everything has been this way because of God. So obeying the covenant. The covenant is always to be followed, and it covers everyone residing in that promised land. So any strangers, any foreigners that are residing amongst you, it covers them as well. The law are the laws of this land, and if you come into it, you must abide by them. And everyone who follows these laws will be rewarded wonderfully. You will prosper. You will have all of the things that have just been covered in chapter 28. All the blessings, not the curses. Then Moses explains about all the false gods that they've witnessed in other nations, that they are totally banned from the promised land. And if anyone tries in this promised land to secretly build one of these gods, craft it out, whatever they want to do, and they start worshipping it, then they will be immediately classed as a sinner and they will never be forgiven. And the final part to what all has been covered today is the punishment for going against. So anyone trying to make his own laws and disobeying God's will suffer. They'll be cursed and there will be great casualties amongst them. Everything is just going to go downhill if they go against the Lord. And this will leave total devastation in their tracks. So they will see clearly where somebody has gone against the Lord. The land will just be desolate. It will just be absolute, like a bomb has dropped on it. So that the people living in the nation will see that and know. It's like a warning. Wow, if I was to go against his rules, that is what would become of me. So that is the warning, and that closes this last chapter for today. Okay, so you can clearly see Moses really strongly reiterating God's laws. Follow them, follow them, follow them. Don't go against them. These are the blessings. These are the great things you will have if you stay aligned with God. If you don't, you will be cursed. You are going to hell pretty much if you do not follow these rules. So it's very clear what is to be expected of them when they get over to that promised land, what they need to do, and what will happen if they go against God's laws. So that closes today's video, and we don't really have many more chapters left now until this book is complete. So I'll see you soon to conclude this book of Deuteronomy. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye.